Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. First I want to apologize because the recording that I put on YouTube last night was actually mirrored, and I don't know what happened in my program where I do my recordings, and as I use to put pictures and recordings and text together and edit it was the right way. So where it got mirrored I don't understand, and I have contacted YouTube, and hopefully they can maybe come with a solution why it got this way. So I hope you could see it anyway. It was a bit annoying to see me as left-handed when I am right-handed. So sorry about that, but I think you got the idea anyway, and hopefully this one will be the right way, and that I'm working with my right hand. I'm just going to do some collaging today to use as decorations in the journals, and they will be backed with a kind of maybe plain color, so that you can use them as journaling cards or some other things that you can write on. So let's start. I'm trying to get a bit better of using up my pieces when I have done some work on the journals, so hopefully we will be able to use these up. So I'm going for some of the bigger pieces that we can make pockets of maybe later, and I'm thinking maybe some of these embossed pieces will also be nice as a background. So I'm just going to take off the the edges, as I don't want them plain and straight like that. Okay, let's start with these pieces with lace, and they are coffee dyed on the back, so they are not white and boring, so we can have them for writing. Using antique linen, Tim Holtz Distress ink, just to give them a little bit of age. If any of you have had this problem with mirroring of the recording, I would really be happy if you gave me a little mail, so I might get a explanation why this happened. I got a bit stressed out when one of my subscribers commented that my recording was mirrored. And then at the first moment I thought she meant upside down, so I got totally crazy and threw myself over the phone and looked at it, but then I saw that it was actually just flipped this way. So it looks like I had recorded it from underneath the table. So yes, crazy. Crazy is the name. Just putting one piece of paper on top of the other, just so that it looks like it's been collaged and randomly put on top of each other. Backing this one with another piece of paper. Then I'm going to crumble this up a bit so we get this nice edge that looks old and like someone had put this in his pocket and had it for years. Some of the pieces I might leave with just 1 or 2 layers so that I can continue to layer when I see where I want to have my collages. I have actually been to the dollar store today and got some photo pockets to put all my labels in. Finally, I have came to the conclusion that I can't have them in a box. I need to sort them out so that I really can see what I'm doing and what I have. It's a bit boring to need to search every time and not knowing what I have in my stash. Cutting up new ones and then I realize I have already 100 of that label. That's a bit it's a bit time consuming to do it twice when you don't need. I have a fly in my roof. It's getting cold outside, so now all the flies seems to try to get inside. I put them out and they get in again. So if you hear a annoying sound, it's that fly that is all around me. This is a piece of a wallpaper. Can't rip it. It's a really old and expensive wallpaper, so it's so strong, so you can't rip it. I haven't done snippets for a while either, so that may be the next thing we are going to do. Love making snippets. Oh, this was actually two. Piece of embossed paper. And the picture. This is good for me to be a bit what should we call it? Right from the heart. I can't. I have a problem with not planning everything I do, so now I just sat down and took my scraps and start playing, so hopefully it will get good enough, even if I just not thinking. I have had a couple of those days where I don't have any inspiration. It doesn't get to me so often, but sometimes I just have this feeling that everything I do will get wrong or be ugly, and then I can't do anything for a couple of days. But then I thought, if I just sat down and play and do something without thinking, that might help me to get going again. Like yesterday, I had no plan, but as I sat down, I did these cute notebooks. So if you have the same problem, that you have lack of inspiration and your self-esteem is getting totally low, go and play with your scraps. Put them together without thinking and see what you get. Do I have any invoices? I think that could be a bit different to have in this. Or maybe some scraps from labels. Just taking the edges off. some of my watercolor painted book pages. I have so many book pages, so it's fun to decorate them and do something different with them. This is totally different from if I just would have put on a page without the decoration. Look how boring that is, and when you do like this, it's fun right away. And everyone can do it. Just put on some color and play. So, should we maybe go for the girls on this one? Or actually, I think we will separate them this time. I think I never have done that. This is one of my favorite postcards that I have in my stash. I love them and I use them often, but sometimes I get bored on using the same things, and then you can just tear them apart or do something else with them. And they are totally different from how it looked from the start. I think I want one more thing. Like that. So let's put that down and let it peek out. That can be fun in a journal when you have something like almost a little tab that peeks out. That will work. She goes with the blue, and she goes with the pink, and she goes with the brown. So now I did think a bit, but maybe it's good sometimes to actually think. Should we do another one? I actually have a tag right here from some of my coffee dyed and plant inking papers. I think I use salt also on these ones. So let's make a tag too. Why not? They are so thin, so these are actually 3 and 4 papers. I try to not put glue on directly on the pieces that are embossed. If they get wet, too wet, they will disappear. So I'm trying not to do it too much. There we go. And then maybe, did we have some part of the green? Old part of the wallpaper with some green. Thought the girl could go with that. Dressing it a bit so it looks like it's a bit older. Do I get this? There we go. I was too close up. Needs a bit more glue on the homemade paper or handmade paper. a bit boring down in this corner, so how are we in time? No problem. So let's continue making some more. This is a print of my wallpapers that I have in my old house outside, in my oldest house on the farm. They were layers and layers of wallpaper. So I took pieces of those that were loose, and now I have scanned them and made paper from them. Unique and beautiful. Should we maybe put this way, or should we have it? I think I like it like that. Did I have another of these pieces with some of my this was one of those with the piece on. Some journaling paste. No, modeling paste. I always call them journaling paste. We are making smaller pieces, but that's okay. We can do a collage later on with the really small pieces. That way those get used too. They are a bit stiff when they have this modeling paste. That's okay. That works too. Should we take a prayer card? Or actually, I think I want this really old picture on this with the wallpaper pieces. One more piece of the wallpaper to give it some more color, as these are a bit dark. Oops. Exactly what I didn't want to happen. Of course that happened. It's a wallpaper I have as the background on my table, so that's easy to clean off. So let's use a Tracy Fox label. And I would like to have another little sample stamp, I think, with some old taking some gold. Just got that idea that that could be cute. Try to put that down without I think that will work. Could leave it to dry, but using the edge of my brush to put it in place. Now we got some extra gold, but I guess that is okay. Gold is never wrong, almost at least. Little bit of gold on the edges, like that. Nice. And now I think we are going to poke some holes so that we can do some embroidery on these. So I will just clean this up and I will be right back with you. So I'm using my little sharp poke tool, and we will make some holes so it will be easier to do some embroidery on them. So let's take them one by one. On this one I think we need to do something on this side, and I'm thinking just some easy cross stitch. So just eyeballing. I want it to look like it's handmade, and then it's not always so straight. And so now we have some holes to go for. We still have the writing space, so it doesn't matter. And on the next one we also have a empty space on this side, so let's just go for some holes without pattern, and then we can just make some sewing, maybe some seed stitch or something like that. Just so that something is happening on this side. Like that. I can sew in those. And the tag. Should we go around the girl? Or maybe we can just do this on the edge so that we don't sew on every place. There we can do the journaling. I think that this will be enough. We can maybe do something down here with some French knots or something like that. And then we have this little cutie. And it's a bit boring all around the edge, so let's do something like that. You can sew all around this with some simple stitches. And this one, should we go around Can maybe sew on a lace down here so it looks like it's hand sewn. Onto the card. Like that. So I will go get my thread and I will start sewing, and then I will speed some of this up so that you don't get bored seeing me do all this stitching. So I will just get my thread and then we can start doing some decorations. I have just glued this little lace on the back so it stays in place while we are sewing. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and start playing with your scraps and make some cute journaling cards with or without embroidery. That's always fun to do that little extra stitching or put some handmade other embroidery from maybe a tablecloth or something else. It makes it a bit more personal. Just saw these beautiful pieces. Could be nice to have one of those on the stitching, maybe. Ideas. Okay, thanks for now, and I will be back, and you will get to see these done later when I put them in one of my journals. So until next time, bye bye from Sweden.